just have to mute it, and then I'll start the music, theoretically.
Give me a second. Let me close the door behind me. Hang on a second.
Yeah, man.
Ugh. Hold on. Hold on a second.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
All right, I am going to do a very janky version of our music. Do you want to do the intro on this one? We're doing chapter 7.
Yeah, not a problem.
So we'll let the music start, and about 10 or so seconds in, go ahead and start your thing. This is going to be real janky. Get ready, folks. It's janky. Eventually.
To Disturb. Tonight we are talking about chapter 7 of season 6, which is called chapter 7. I'm going to call it the story of bad choices. I am Chris Mao, and tonight with me.
Wait a minute. We got to start again. You cut out completely on that.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't hear anything.
You hear me now?
No, you're really soft. We're going to have to start the entire thing over.
How about now? Is it better?
Yeah, there I hear you totally.
Sorry, I'm having some connection problem.
Yeah, right now, nothing.
You're not hearing anything?
No, you're cutting out. I hear that.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. I'll start it again. Wait about 10 seconds. The music starts to fade. Talk over the music.
I'll talk over the end like I tried to do that, but
Did
yeah,
you?
that's fine.
I couldn't. I can't hear it at all, so maybe if I do this. Oh, balls.
Yeah.
I just broke them.
Nice.
All right. We're going to start again. Behind the scenes. So not interesting. Yeah, of course. This is back like my DJing days. I've got the one ear going.
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yo, that's me. All right, we'll give it a try. Hopefully this is mixed in stereo or in mono.
Welcome to Disturb, the American Horror Story Podcast. Tonight we are talking about Chapter 7, Season 6, named Chapter 7, which I'm calling Bad Choices. I am Chris Mao. With me is who? Who's with me tonight?
I'm Rob Southgate, trying to put my headphone back together. Aren't they all bad choices? We'd call this Bad Choice Chapter 7?
This is really bad choices, though. This is ultimate. I mean, it seems like, especially since they changed, every decision is the wrong one, which is awesome. So,
yeah, this show is going off the rails. You know, seriously. Although, well, we'll get into it. But I'm starting to get to the point where I'm wondering who's going to be left. I mean, I mean, seriously, who can survive this?
Well, they said one person survived. So does that mean one out of all the hundreds of people we see sitting there?
Everybody?
Or
right.
One alive person? I don't know. So
yeah, it's
interesting.
It's interesting. Yes. All right. So let's get into it, man.
Yes, let's get into it.
First thing I wrote down here, Sydney
Agnes?
pointed out. Sydney pointed out there are 75 cameras in that house. That's 75 that are placed, but then he gives everybody in the place cameras. So I mean, there's like 80 cameras in this house, shooting all the time. One thing
Right.
I've been really enjoying about that is the varying quality.
Yeah, I've actually kind of like that aspect of it is giving it the very, reality show kind of Big Brother Survivor kind of feel, which has been nice.
Well, even better than that, because if you watch like Big Brother, they're using the same cameras throughout, so the quality doesn't shift. But on here,
Well, Big Brother does, I think.
Does it?
I think
Well,
I think they've got some that are tucked in the corner that aren't as
Oh
good.
yeah, they get a little grainy. Well,
Yeah.
when they switch to like their camera phones, some of the camera phones look better than others.
Right.
Some of the shots look a little bit different. When they were using the placed cameras, they all look the same. I like that. That's a really nice attention to detail.
Yeah, they pay attention to that. I think there's some other things that they could have improved on, but I like it. I kind of like the change in the way these are going, but there's also some big issues with what they've done, which is okay. I'm okay with that. It is, and it's just, not to be disparaging against actors and people in the theater, but
yeah.
Are they taking every bad stereotype with these people and putting it on the screen? It's awful.
But you know what? For that scene, for the people that are on this, I kind of buy into it. I mean, as somebody who has been on movie sets, who has been in that world, there are really cool, decent people.
Sure.
The people that are on this, I don't doubt for a second that they would be people that would be, the worst. They'd be the bottom. Like that Dominic guy seems like he crested. He's one of those Hollywood kind of scumbag guys, and it
Yes.
fits him. I think Monet, the only reason we're getting the stereotype out of her is because of what happened, how she was infected because of Lee, and now she's an alcoholic and she's falling apart.
Well, we'll get into this because I think they all, and when we talk about Chapter 8, not to spoil, I think it's pretty evident how these guys take on their characters. And I mean, and that happens. I mean, it started with Agnes. Well, I am the butcher. I'm the perfect person to play the butcher.
Let's talk about Agnes.
Oh my, she is so good. It's
so
unbelievable.
Good.
She is crazy how well she acts. So.
Yeah, crazy? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with crazy. This was great because in Chapter 6, we talked about, was that Agnes in the window or was it not?
Yes.
It looked like her. But then we're like, wait, they had these things that they were doing setup stuff, so it could have been a fake, it could have been whatever.
Right.
Oh no. We now know
they could have home alone it.
Freaking Agnes is doing this. I love that. Well, okay. For Agnes, the whole time I'm wondering, is this her? They claimed that she had schizophrenia, but it seems like multi-personality disorder mixed with schizophrenia. Because she's got all that paranoid stuff. She's got
is it the daily double?
Yeah, I think she's got the daily quadruple.
That's right.
But one of the things I was wondering, because of the way she reacts, was she being is she possessed by the butcher? And I was thinking that throughout until the scene when she was in the bunker.
Right.
Well, not bunker. What is it? It's a root cellar, right?
Root cellar bunker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
When she's in the root cellar,
like a bomb shelter almost, but
right. And she's filming herself and she's kind of flipping back and forth, but she wasn't flipping like she would if she was possessed.
Correct. I think she's
acting the part.
Well, she's schizophrenic, so she's acting the part, and you hear of people doing that where they think they're the part that they act, and we can get into that later when we talk the next podcast. But
and when she I do think that that the schizophrenia was brought on because of the butcher.
Yes.
I mean, we haven't gotten any backstory that indicates anything other than that. We haven't also gotten the backstory that is for sure it. But that's the impression I get. But I don't think she was possessed because of the final scene.
Yes.
When the freaking butcher shows up.
And the butcher butchers. So
yeah, and the way Agnes reacted, where she's like, "Oh, you're my hero!" Like I'm going, wait a minute. She wasn't possessed. She literally was like in this gray zone of the butcher.
Well, she wasn't the butcher. She was obsessed, is what she was.
She was obsessed, yes. And when the butcher showed up, the butcher took care of business. How about this butcher? I thought Agnes was scary as the butcher. This woman, I'm like, This is like Pennywise from the new It movie.
Yeah, no, it was it was pretty scary. I mean, even the guys, the villagers that came with her were all, they weren't the Hollywood looking guys. They were really real people looking nasty. And
I love how they're doing that, because in the first half of the season, we were buying into that could be what they look like. Now you see these guys and they're dirtier, they're grittier.
Sure. Well, they've been dead for 500 years, so they look nasty. For 450 years, they look, moldy and stuff like that. So
yeah. So there was a lot other than Agnes that happened in this. First of all, I was kind of shocked by the fact that they seem to be flipping cards really fast here, right?
Right. They have a lot to cover, I think.
And they only have 3 more episodes after this to do it, which is astounding to me. Part of me goes, how can they fit it all in 3 episodes? The other part of me goes, everybody's dead by, episode 9. What the hell? How are they going to do this? Anyway.
Well, because they'll just kill everybody in the next 2 episodes. So.
It's crazy. But one of the cards they flipped here that to me was a really bold choice, especially at this moment. Right away, right in the beginning, we see that they have video of the nurses killing Rory.
Right.
We see Sydney and the intern and the cameraman all in the trailer. And the cameraman, I loved this. You see all those screens, and it's almost like it's in the background that happens. But if you watch it, the cameraman sees it and reacts to it. And, of course, we go like, oh, yeah. But if you go back and rewind it, really you're supposed to be watching Sydney. But because of our nature, we're always looking at everything else, and we catch it. But I love how it was really like a background thing. And the cameraman, it was us at this point. And it's like he sees it, and he's like, whoa, go back. What was that?
Well, and the typical producer, they look at the cameraman like, just point the camera and shut up and eat your, your sandwich, which was supposed to be a salad because nobody cares.
Right.
Which, which they played on that point. It is. I like it. Well, because, you just want to hate Sydney. You just want to hate him. So you're looking for him at any point to get killed, which, eventually happens, which is great.
Spoiler for 3 minutes into the show.
Yeah, 3 minutes into the show.
Did you expect him to go that fast?
He's to be honest with you, to this story, he is just a tool to get them back. I don't think he's important.
Well, no, obviously not now. But I actually thought he would end up being important. I thought there was going to be some story to Sydney, but they treated him like the girl in Scream, Drew Barrymore in Scream, where it's like you think something is happening, and then boom, 3 minutes in, slaughtered, done. That character is gone. And I love this. You hear the noise outside. As the viewer, you're like, oh, Butcher is there. Now, still didn't know if it was there. It was Agnes.
Acting form.
Yeah. We still didn't know that it was Agnes was the Butcher at this point in her head.
Right.
This is where we find out.
Yes.
But it was great. You hear the noise, that girl's toast. Or the other thought I had is this could be one of Sydney's setups that, he goes outside and he's like, oh, you triggered the thing or whatever.
Right, one of those props or something, like a bonfire or something. And
And even when she's laying there and it's gushing out of her throat, I was still thinking, is this a setup? Until Agnes shows up and sticks a cleaver in his chest.
Yeah.
You're like, yep, that's not.
It could have been the Polks, because they said, well, we haven't seen them in weeks.
Right.
And obviously they're there. Find out later in the chapter or later in the show that the Polks are around. And how about that?
Oh, boy.
That was fantastic.
The Polks. This is the only criticism I'm having. Because I'm really enjoying this season, and the acting has been astounding.
Yes.
I hate to do this because I don't like to throw anybody under the bus or say they're not doing a good job when the show's so astounding.
Right.
But Mama Polk is. I loved when it was the actress playing Mama Polk.
Yeah.
This Mama Polk
was Frances Conroy.
Yeah, Frances Conroy was awesome. This Mama Polk, who is also, if you look her up on IMDb, she's in everything, and she's really good.
Yeah.
Here, she's not so good. I feel like she's fake. I almost think she should have been the fake Mama Pole.
Right, had Frances Conroy be the real one.
Yeah, because I feel like she's acting, whereas I did not feel like Frances Conroy was acting, which is why we were so off base with what's real, what's not.
Yeah.
This one, I'm like, is she in this episode? I was feeling like is somehow it going to turn out that those polks are a setup from Sydney, and even when like Lee gets put down in the chair and everything, are we going to find out, because we didn't see him actually get injured? It was all off camera.
Who get injured?
Lee.
Okay.
We saw what looked like she was about to get injured, but we didn't see her get injured. We
Correct.
didn't see Aubrey or Monet.
Monet, right.
We saw them in a tight spot. We saw them getting roughed up a little bit, but could it turn out that that was, part of their agreement, that the actors or that these were actors that were doing this? But we know that's not true. But
right.
I was thinking that earlier in this episode and going, okay, because her acting was so weird.
Yeah. I think that's got to be a tough role to play. But yeah, I agree. I don't want to say every season or two, I think there's always just some tough characters to play. And
yeah. So maybe she's just tough.
She went to the kind of the wacky, crazed person, and
the accent sounds weird. And what I keep thinking, what I keep wishing the mom is? You ever see the episode Home on the X-Files?
Yes.
Do you remember the mom? And she's like on a cart. It's like all inbred, and they keep the mom on like one of the carts you use under your car when you're changing the oil, and they slide her out from under the bed, and she's like, ah! That's what I wanted the mom to be.
Yeah.
That would have been, could you imagine if the mom comes out and she's like, they're wheeling her around in some weird thing,
right?
And she like has half a tongue, and she's like, ah, 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 and she's the one controlling these guys, these hillbillies. Yeah. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, but that would have been completely over the top.
I'll take it.
Well, but I'm just saying, I think they've made great strides to make the real people believable. You know what I mean? Like the real people, right? So the real Shelby, the real Matt, they've made them that believable kind of person. So
I love the how we see the Roanokes appear. We just see them with their torches, and you're like, you immediately, oh yeah, I wanted to address that. So you said was it the last episode? You said that when they were in the hot tub, when
that was in it was in 6, yeah.
That was in 6, and you said he's in the hot tub and you see the torches, and I didn't notice it. I went back and rewatched that episode.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah, those torches are there.
Oh yeah, of course. It's not like there's one, there's like 20.
Yeah, it's great. I completely missed that the first time.
Yes.
So that was pretty crazy. As long as we're talking about like recapping some stuff from last episode, I wanted to bring this one up. I thought this was really good. So we've been tweeting out some different things, like some different polls and that, trying to find out who do you think is going to survive. I put out a poll where I said, is it going to be Shelby? Is it going to be Matt? Or is it going to be Other? Overwhelmingly, Other came back. And this was before we saw this episode. This was right after 6.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, now we know.
We know one isn't going to make it. So
right. And then Tyler, who is one of our fans, wrote to us and said, "I believe Shelby survives because she's the next Supreme." I thought this was a great idea, because here's the idea for the Supreme. This is what Tyler says. How else did Shelby heal so fast from that gash that she had?
Well, she didn't heal. She was under. I mean, it's.
They had her wrapped up and everything, but they had 2 shots. One shot, when they showed it happen, it looked like they took like down. The second shot, when they were healing it, it looked like it was really deep. But then they also showed her when she was bandaged up, and it looked like it was probably just a slice.
Well, I don't think it hit her neck. I thought it was her back that got hit.
Was it her back?
I thought it was her back.
I thought it was here, and I thought, man, they cut an artery up there.
No, I thought they got her in the back and just kind of cut her and got some meaty parts, but didn't get her that bad. I mean, bad, but I don't think it was like that life-threatening after she was bleeding a little bit. So,
well, I thought, to me, when I heard that, I thought Tyler really hit something there, because it would be.
She's not the Supreme,
but it would be interesting if it turned out that she is a Supreme, she's Diana Ross to this group, that she's the Supreme, and that maybe she's in place to take over for the Wood Witch, the Forest Witch.
We know it's not Cricket, so
Cricket. Where's Cricket?
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at my banners. Where's Cricket? I mean, are not the dead supposed to be?
But I don't think we've seen Cricket yet, because we're just barely starting to see the dead come into this.
Well, yeah, but they're in the show. They're there all the time.
Yeah, but when they're on, you mean when they're on the old one, My Roanoke Nightmare, not the Return to Roanoke,
right? Not the Return, but they're there. So
yeah, but Cricket wasn't dead long enough to show up in My Roanoke Nightmare, and in Return to Roanoke, we are just now getting a glimpse.
But we see Mott in the tunnel when the girls are trying to escape.
Let's talk about Mott for a second. That scared the crap out of me. Because I thought it was going to be Mott, the original Mott, walking down the hall and be like, boo, like we'd see it and go, that's not But instead, we get this like crap coming out. And
yeah,
that was terrifying. No wonder they ran back in the house. Yeah, I was like, this is messed up. That was another one we got. I want to bring up. I got to find it on here, because we were talking about Mott. We were talking about Dandy and everything. 5 Cents wrote it. Actually, I should give their name. It's Nicolal Day wrote, Dandy is a descendant of Edward Mott. Listen to the historian at the beginning of the episode. Last known Mott died in Florida.
Right.
So Dandy is a descendant of that.
That's the tie-in to Freak Show.
Yes.
And then there's supposed to be a tie-in. There's supposed to be a tie-in to Coven.
Well, is there? Because I know that they released this week that next season, I think it is going to be Coven and Murder House.
Murder House, correct.
So are they going to have a Coven tie-in here?
Isn't Murder House set in the 70s?
No, Murder House was 80s or 90s, wasn't it?
Was it 90s? So, sorry, it was 90s. So, I mean, there'll be a different thing.
It might even be now. Murder House.
I thought Murder House was a little bit older, but maybe it is. Whatchamajigger, Sarah Paulson, I think, is supposed to make an appearance as the witch. So she's going to have 3 parts in this series, which would be awesome. I think so. I mean, maybe she comes in and cleans house and, does some does some voodoo on them. So, which would.
Oh, you just completely cut out, man. I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying that maybe she comes in and does some of her voodoo on them and nails them and, because she's pissed off about Cricket.
Yeah, it could be.
She's like, "Where's Cricket?" And then comes in and says, "Oh well, you guys are going to pay the price." And
yeah, you guys screwed up and got rid of Cricket. Everybody loves Cricket.
You think you're bad? Check again. So,
Mom, why do you love Cricket so much? See, that's terrible. That was by Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yes,
that was the worst of all the bad impressions I've ever done. That might have been the worst one. That was my Brad Garrett. It was just awful.
Yes, Ma.
See, you could do it. Ma.
This is just because I have a deep voice.
Why do you love Cricket so much? Everybody loves Cricket.
Everybody loves it. That would be a great way to get Jessica Lange to come back. So
make her the mom.
Yeah, and then also, I mean, yeah, exactly. Make her the mom. That would be great.
And then we
pass. Isn't she dead?
Michael Chiklis comes back and he's Frank.
Right? He's Frank. Yeah. That would be awesome.
That would. You know what? I hope nobody is listening to this because we're ruining the show right now. That's the worst.
Yes. Remake the show wrong. That's our take on their thing. So what about Shelby going off on Matt when they try to leave? So number one, they try to leave. Matt and Dominic and Shelby try to leave. They're all pissed. Well, Matt goes down there, and then what's the character lady? Whatever the witch.
Wait. No, they didn't try to leave. Hold on a second.
They were in the basement.
Yeah, but they were trying to leave. Matt was sleepwalking.
Oh, that's right. Matt got.
Yeah. Matt was sleepwalking.
Sorry,
this is the rub, man. This is the rub. They weren't trying to leave.
Well, he's possessed.
Right, but
Matt's possessed.
No, is he?
Well, that's why he gets up and sleepwalks, because he had that look, like he had that glaze over look where he didn't remember. He said he didn't remember it the first time.
Right, but remember what he says right at the end. I don't think he was sleepwalking. I think he was getting called, like, she's here. So he goes down into that basement, And this is interesting. That looked like it was Lady Gaga again. But she was, how could it be Lady Gaga? Because that would have been an actress on my Roanoke Nightmare.
Well, yes. And in the credits, Thaisa credited with being in it, but they didn't say who it was. So maybe that was her.
Okay.
And I don't know I can't remember who she played, but I think she played one of the witches, didn't she? In Coven?
Yeah.
Or no, she was one of the daughters, I think. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, you got to look that up. I don't remember. Well, anyway, so it was Matt went downstairs. We were supposed to believe he was sleepwalking, but I'm not convinced he was. Right. When Shelby and Dominic go down there.
Well, Dominic follows him and says, "Hey, Shelby, you got to see this," trying to win Shelby over to his side.
Right.
Yeah, because he's meeting up. Bad choice.
He's meeting up with somebody down there. They go down there. He's doing it with this witch, and Shelby freaks out. She's very upset. She scares off the witch, which was pretty wild. But then Matt says, this to me was amazing. When Matt turns around and he's like, this is why I came back. I love her. I'm in love with her. And it was like, I think he was conscious of what he was doing. I think that maybe he had been possessed earlier when it first happened. But now we find out, no, he wanted to be here. Now, we had last week said we thought that he might be there to commit suicide. I don't think so. I think Shelby had decided if she couldn't make this work, if everything was bad, there was no way her life was ever going to be normal again. She was going to die in the house. I think that's why she went back. I think Matt went there thinking, I am going to sacrifice myself to this witch and be with the witch. I'm in love with her. And I mean, this was a turning point. Another big card flip. She turns around and crushes his skull.
Right, with a big tire,
crushes it though, man.
Yes.
That was, first of all, it was sick, but second of all, I was sitting there stunned.
Yeah. Well, that's very unshelby. So maybe that's just they talk about the power of the blood moon over people on the land, and it's obviously it's taken over her.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know about Matt, whatever. I think he was just there because his life was miserable. So if he was there to die or there to hook up with do whatever, I don't think because he the whole second part of the series, he's just been out. Just been like, this is horrible. It's like
well, that's why I thought he was there to commit suicide.
Right. He's like a teenage boy, depressed and
he was just
moping around like, oh, the girl didn't go with me to the prom.
And until she showed, he was all bummed out. Once she showed, it's like, all right, I can get my life going on here.
Hey, it's Lady Gaga. It's okay. So.
Yeah, right. He heard the faint ha 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 ha. Had to go down there.
Another bad impression.
Yeah, he had to do his poker face.
7 bad impressions, not bad choices.
Yeah, right. But that whole scene, I think if we have to do the nomination, that whole scene, Matt deciding to go back, humping the witch, and getting his skull crushed in, that was bad choice. Numero uno on this episode.
No way.
You don't think that was the worst?
But there's more to come.
Oh, there is so much more. And actually, Agnes might have been numero uno because she was also conscious of what she was doing.
No, Dennis O'Hare coming back, them going into the bunker, that's the worst scene ever. They're so stupid.
What was that? I don't remember
when they go find the video and they go into the cellar the first time and Siri.
No, I meant in this episode.
Oh, this episode, yeah,
not overall.
In this episode, absolutely. I think it was a worse choice to tell your ex-wife that you don't love her, that you came back for the witch, and then turning your back on her. That was
like I said, the entire. Let's just say Matt's existence in this episode was just one bad choice after another.
I think the worst choice is you should have got the cameraman a salad because the guy asked for a salad.
Right.
The guy asked for a salad. How can you help? Can't you help a brother out?
I mean, seriously, man. Plenty of meat. According to the Polks, they got plenty of meat. So how about when they were tenderizing Lee's leg?
No, when they tied her up and then they brought out the salt to tenderize her, I was like, "Are you serious?"
Oh, that was fantastic. It was fantastic. Well, of course, the whole time, like we've been talking about all the movies that this is, alluding to. We have fully entered Texas Chainsaw.
Yes.
In fact, I know that people are going to say it was the first one, but really, I was getting a vibe off Texas Chainsaw 2.
Oh, the
one with Dennis Hopper.
Yes. And I was getting off the reboot, off of the Rob Zombie reboot. Or no,
Oh, yeah,
Romero
yeah.
reboot.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Romero. It was Platinum Dunes redid it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was me too. Me too. The whole thing.
It wasn't the old school just gory stupidity. This was
once again,
planned hilarity. So
yes. Once again, though, this is where the mom is a bit of a misstep, because if you look at those movies, they have Grandpa and he's like, "Ooh," with the hammer. Ooh.
yeah.
That's what they needed. The mom needed to be either really super menacing or really messed up.
Would have been great if it was like Lucille Ball. That would have been perfect. Like
Lucille
the prim and, so I'm just saying like the prim and proper like 50s.
I thought you meant dead Lucille
good.
Ball. She comes in, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky. Wee! Like crying. That'd be fantastic.
Somebody did tenderize Lee right.
Yeah, no kidding. So
that was so gross though when they were tenderizing your leg. And see, once again, at that moment, I'm thinking maybe this is a setup because it felt very much like other things. Not a setup. They're eating her leg. Yeah, that's gross.
They did not. They fed it to Monet and
right. They made them eat it.
Audrey. They made them eat it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was great. I mean, and it was like in little strips. It was like fajita meat. I was like, oh, that's nasty.
Yeah. Oh, fajitas sound good, don't they?
Yes, they do. Fajitas would be great right now.
I could totally throw down some fajitas right now. I can throw down fajitas while that's happening, to tell you the truth.
Yes.
Not effective.
It was, yeah.
So, I mean, really, we're at the end of this thing. Dominic looks out the window after all this hell is broken loose. He sees Agnes out there gassing the house. Not the way you and I gas the house.
No.
Gassing the
gasoline,
house.
Not
yeah. And this is the end. This is when you get all those rapid things. We see him gassing the house. Dominic's like, we're never getting out of here. We got a shot of Matt dead in the basement. Then we see them serving Audrey and Monet the meat.
Right.
And then
the cop appears.
Yeah, the real Roanoke's appear. They appear with their torches, and I'm thinking, there's a lot of gas around and torches, and this is where we're going to find out the deal with Agnes, and we sure do.
Yes.
That crazy butcher, I mean, that was awesome. Walks up, doesn't say anything, really, does she?
No, she doesn't say anything, and Agnes is like, goes, you're my hero. I channeled you. I totally got you.
She goes, my idol, my maker, and then chop. She clears her in the head too.
But she also kind of, she did. She got the split. I don't think she was too. I mean, I'm sure she didn't really want that to happen, but I don't think she did not welcome that. I think she was kind of ambivalent because I think she's like, I'm nuts. This is awesome. I'm done. And because she kind of gives herself to
she's sacrificing herself to the butcher.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know if she
what the butcher did to Lady Gaga. Remember?
I don't remember that.
No, the butcher after she kills all the village people, she offers herself. So
weren't she sad when they killed the cowboy? He's the best one.
Exactly. He's about to again another.
What? Oh, you're cutting out. I don't hear you at all, Chris.
Am I back?
There you are.
All right, sorry. So another actor acts like their real life person.
Yeah.
And the girl who plays the butcher sacrifices herself to the supernatural evil, like the butcher really did in the story.
Yeah.
And then, and I think we are going to find that as we'll talk in the next podcast that there's more of that coming. So
yes, we will. So let's end it.
Yeah, let's end it.
Let's end
we
it.
Have more stuff to talk about. So
we'll end it like normal here, and then we'll go right into the next episode. So thank you for listening, everybody. Follow us on Twitter at Disturbed Pod. Follow us on Facebook. You can go to Disturbed Podcast on Facebook. Just type that in. It'll come right up. We love to talk about stuff on there. We love to chat. Get in conversation with us. We love it. We have a Pinterest board also. You can go to Southgate Media Group Pinterest and just type in Disturbed Podcast, and our board should come up. We're sharing stuff on there. We're always looking for other Disturbed stuff that we'll share on there. So let us know if you got something like stuff. Write to us. Like any place you can communicate with us, we're down for it. You can also write to us at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. That goes right to me, but I do share it with Chris. And that way, Yeah, we'll respond to you there. Chris, why don't you give your social media?
Absolutely. I can be found at theblueboxcafe.com or Blue Box Cafe or Blue Box Cafe 176 on social media.
Excellent. And that is it. Until next time, Chris.
Until next time.
You're my idol. You're my hero.
Funk.
All right, that's it. Let's go into the next episode. Let me see here. We have somebody watching us. Hey, if you're watching us, say hi in the chat room. Is the audio, does it sound good on your end? I can't tell.
It does. It sounds fine.
Okay, because we're having some kind of weird internet thing here at my house, and I keep getting this weird distorted audio. I think next time I'm going to try and route things differently and use the mixer for some of this, but we'll find out. Oh, I didn't play our exit music, but so be it. All right. I'm going to play our intro music again, though. So we will get into it.
Me too.
I'll let you introduce.
Okay.
This will be chapter 8.
Danette.
Oh, Danette's on. Hey, Danette. All right. Danette.
Sorry, I was thinking of whatchamajigger, Silicon Valley.
So Danish. Yeah.
Danish.
So yeah.
I wrote that app. Yeah. I'm not uncomfortable.
So this is going to be the janky version. We're going to actually have our intro music going forward. We've only got a couple more episodes, but let's jump into 8. I am going to start the music, and you jump in and introduce it, and let's do this thing.
Welcome to Disturb, the American Horror Story Podcast. Tonight we are talking about Season 6, Chapter 8, which is called Chapter 8, but I'm going to call it The Death Toll Continues. I'm your host, Chris Mao, and with me tonight is...
Rob Southgate. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, Rob. How you doing?
I'm still reeling from this episode, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, no kidding, because as I said, the death toll continues, and although...
How many can be left by the end?
Well, you know what?
I mean, I don't know. Say there's one, but are we going to have an episode of one person?
There's only one main character that bites it this time. It's all support characters, which, not to spoil it. I was just saying there's only one main character that dies this time. The rest are support characters who I think kind of deserve to die, but that's just me. So
well, we only had all we have left of the main characters. So one of these people has to survive. We don't have Shelby. we have
well, we don't. I mean, so yes, very quickly in Shelby bites it. So
we have Lee, we have Monet, we have
Dylan.
Dylan.
Okay, so at the end, we'll go into
Dylan. Right. Yeah, but I don't think he doesn't count because they said everybody here dies except one person. I think it's everybody that was there at that point. So Dylan could survive, but he doesn't count as the one. I think the one is going to be one of that original group. So you've got Lee, Monet, Audrey, and oh crap, did Dominic die?
Yes, he did.
I can't
Piggy
remember.
Man got him. Man at the end.
Piggy Man. Yes.
And not to be saying that he's one of the most deserving, but he was a tool. He deserved to die. Yeah, and I love some Cuba Gooding Jr., but he was such.
He was great. He was great, though.
He was, and who's going to live is probably the least deserving person, which is now it's got to be Lee. Lee's going to be the one to survive.
That's actually what I said too. Is it's going to be Lee. We put up a poll for that. Who do you think? And I put the 3 names that were left, and the only one that got votes was Lee. Now that doesn't
she's
mean
the only one with a chance because the rest are idiots. Because Audrey's not going to live because, it might happen because it is Audrey because she's such a narcissistic bimbo that she might just make it through.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, truly, logically, we all agree it's Lee, but it could be any of the 3. It's like watching Survivor. You watch Survivor and you pick who you think it's going to be. And in episode 10, that person who seems like the shoo-in gets voted out. And you're like, okay, well, now I have to shift. And you keep shifting, and then in the end, you're like, I knew it was that person. In reality, you never know.
Well, and I would also see that Lee would sacrifice herself to save her daughter. So you could see Lee taking one for the team because she's kind of beat up because she's a walking steak meat locker.
Yeah.
So I could see her taking one for the team and doing something to kill all of the bad people,
right?
And doing that as a justification because big reveal, and I think we'll talk about that a little bit. Lee has something to say about the death of her ex-husband.
Okay, I got to talk to you about this.
Yes.
We don't need to wait till later. Let's jump right into this. So Lee, when she's getting filmed by Polk, one of the Polk boys.
Yes.
The whole town's talking about the Polk boys.
The whole town's talking about the Polk boys.
So when
the cutting, the marijuana.
All right, the cutting. When she's talking to him, she says on camera, I killed Mason. I was by myself. I did it. I'm admitting it. Okay? This is what I don't understand. To me, that was very clear, right?
Right.
Afterwards, I'm reading reviews of the episode from other places, other sources. I want to say AV Club was one of them because I usually read their stuff.
Right.
I want to say
there was something on Uproxx about it too.
Might have been Uproxx, but they indicated that we still don't know who killed Mason. They were indicating like, oh, well, that was just, she was saying that for another purpose. Did you get that? I got the impression she was saying that because she was
the way
unburdening herself.
I think she was unburdening herself, but she's also, as you see 10 minutes later, she's very aware of, she's a police officer. I think she's very aware of how to manipulate people.
But so why would she say she killed Mason? What good does that do for the Polks? Why would that buy her 1 second more?
Maybe it gets her some sympathy from the person that's already kind of leaning her way, where she says, hey, I'm a bad person too. Look at what I did. I mean, that's just conjecture. I think she did it. So, I mean, when she admitted it, I wasn't shocked at all. But
actually, I have another thought right there. Actually,
she thinks that kid did it.
Well, no, I have two thoughts here that might be the case. One is, how do we know that it wasn't Matt going out giving a blood sacrifice to the witch?
Right.
There is a chance of that, even though because the story we got about Lee came from Matt. We saw that footage of her leaving, which is suspect, but how do we know it wasn't Matt out there doing it? And maybe she was protecting Matt. And maybe when she admitted it, it wasn't to protect Matt any longer. I mean, maybe it was.
Sure.
But maybe the reason she did it, maybe this wasn't, I'm going to say maybe about 100 times here.
Maybe.
It wasn't clear to us as the viewer. Maybe because that Polk said, we watch TV. We're Americans. We watch the show.
Right.
Maybe she was doing that to buy time. By saying that, because I said, how does that buy her any time? Maybe it does. Maybe by her saying, I did it, she engages him in conversation. She gets him thinking about stuff. Sure. Because if he's a fan and he knows her story, he's going to be like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe he'd talk about that. But they didn't show us him reacting to it, so that's why it fell flat. But maybe that's what they were going for by her admitting it.
Well, I mean, and I think that it's legitimate because I think she is involved in somehow.
She did it?
She was. Maybe we're going to find out at the end that she confronted the husband, and then Matt came, or the witch came and said, the only way to get this done is for you to sacrifice your husband. So she says she did it by herself, as opposed to, I think she left the door wide open that somebody else was involved. Who knows who that somebody else is? And at the end, when she says we have to go back and get the videotape, there's no reason other than she feels that that's condemning to her. She doesn't care about killing.
Exactly. Yeah, she doesn't care about them killing that person. It's that video where she admitted it. Right. She's got to get rid of that.
Right. For once, Audrey made sense that she didn't, when she says they're going to see the whole video where I'm getting attacked and we're eating your leg and nobody's going to blame us for killing them.
Right.
And then she's like, well, no, we killed somebody. We have to go back. And I just looked right through that saying, oh yeah, you're in trouble. So
yeah, I agree. That was her motivation. And I do think I mean, part of me does believe that she did do it. I think that they've been toying with us, making us think that maybe she didn't, maybe she did, maybe this and that. I would not be surprised if it wasn't her with like Lee or with somebody. She hasn't really had like face-to-face with any of these ghost people.
We don't know that. She left for 4 hours. Who knows what happens out there?
Did leave for 4 hours. Maybe she was with the witch. Maybe the witch.
One of the other ones. Who knows?
Well, I'm thinking with the witch, because she's got this infatuation with Matt, and maybe it's that bloodline that she's attached to, and maybe we'll find out that witch is somehow connected to her, to that family, which is why this continued to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? There's a lot out there for it. So
yeah.
I think there's and it's hard to I guess I hate to say it's hard to have a theory on that, because we're starting to lose people and we don't have any other options. It's not like we can say, oh, well, they did this. Dominic did this. Shelby did this. It's like, well, no, they did, because Shelby's locked in the bathroom, kind of all beat up with Dominic after she bashes her husband's skull in, her ex-husband. And then Dominic's like, you got to turn yourself in. You can't be sitting out here. It's like, and she's like, no, I'm not turning myself in. What are you talking about? And
how about this scene? When Shelby and Dom, before they get to the bathroom, when they go down into the tunnel, they have to walk past Matt's bashed in head. They go down in the tunnel. To me, I'm anticipating Mott, right?
No.
Instead, we get the spider people like climbing along the walls.
What is it? I can't think of the name of the family.
Was that the family?
That was the family, yeah. That was
the same one that grabbed the kid. Remember the one that grabbed Flora?
Right. She mentions it, the Lee family or whatever family it is. I don't know, so I'm sorry. I'm not.
So they're the ones climbing the walls?
Yeah. And she even says that. She goes, oh, it's the blah, blah, blah family. And then they run back in.
They were freaking me out. And the one had that like white face.
Yes.
That was freaking me out big time.
Pulling a ring on us.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it did have that ring. Samara, is that her name on the ring?
Samara, yeah. Well, the ring and whatever the one upstairs, the Grudge, which was fantastic. Both of them were fantastic, by the way.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that was getting me. But when they ran in and they're like, I wrote on here, what the hell was that climbing the walls? That was a truly scary moment.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting Mott, so I was prepared for the in the hallway. No,
you were prepared for Brad Garrett. That would have been great if Brad Garrett played Mott in the real Mott. That would be awesome.
Nemo,
remake this movie wrong with Robin Chris now.
Oh, it's the worst.
And we'll get Carrot Top.
Oh, I got a question. Carrot Top. Awesome. Why isn't he in this? He's a freak show. I got a question. Way to throw Carrot Top under the bus.
Him and Pee-wee. Him and Paul Rubens.
There's a shot in this that was super questionable to me. And it was highlighted and not resolved. And I want to know what the hell this was. When Lee is in the chair, okay, and she's alone in that room. She's tied up. She's got her leg cut up. Polk leaves. Okay. That's, by the way, that's Finn Whitrock playing that Polk, which I didn't know until the end. And I'm like, oh, that is amazing. There is a shot. Now, we know where the cameras are this whole time. If you pay attention to the cameras, it's been very logical.
There's another camera. Yeah.
It's up in the corner. It's on the phone. It's over here. Everything makes sense. When he leaves and she's sitting in the chair, there is a camera that is handheld because it's moving. There's a little motion when you handhold. Under the table, shooting Lee. Who the hell is under that table shooting her? Because they never resolve it, but it wasn't just a quick, brief. It was long enough that I was able to sit there and process, like, there is clearly somebody holding that camera. Who aren't we seeing?
I know. No. Could it have been his phone?
No, because a person was holding it. If you watch that shot, if it was his phone, if you take a phone and you put it on camera and you drop it, okay, there's no motion to it. This was in the air. It was suspended.
There was one that
it went like this, and then it went like that to kind of show her better in frame. That's what happens when you are shooting with a camera phone.
Right.
That is absolutely what that was. So that leaves the question, who was under the table? Because it was a person holding that camera. No question. Go back and watch that scene. And it goes on for like 20 seconds. It's a long shot.
Right.
So they obviously were telling us something. If I'm wrong, I'd be very surprised.
maybe it's, I don't know who it could be.
If I'm wrong, then it was a huge mistake on their part. And this is like watching a chess game. There are not really mistakes here. They're concise with what's going on.
Uh-huh.
There may be weird choices.
I'm gonna try and pull it up and take a look and see. But,
yeah, definitely watch. It's when she's alone in the room.
Right.
The shot is from under the table, and it moves. If you look at it and you think, is somebody holding that camera? Yes, because I went back and rewound it. I had Martha watch it with me.
Is it from in front of her or from the side?
It's from under the table to the side of her.
Okay, I'll take a look and see. Maybe there is something under there.
And when I showed it to Martha, I said, her reaction after, I was like, watch this scene. And she goes, who's under the table?
Right.
But when they put the camera, when they show the stagnant camera that's opposite that, you don't see anybody under the table.
It's
so somebody is under there shooting. Unless it's like
O'Hare.
It's Dennis O'Hare. It's a raccoon that the one that set up the pig ring. That's what it is. Maybe it's Agnes.
Agnes, yes.
Somebody's under there. Now
it's Cricket. It's a ghost of Cricket past.
Oh, I hope so. They would have heard a little chirp, and you go, "It's Cricket."
She goes, "You ever heard for pay for?"
Yeah,
pay for play.
Pay for what? Yeah. Let's see. I have a quote I wanted to bring up. There were some great quotes in this. Aside from "We're part of the United States, we get TV."
Yeah.
Another line that I loved. I'm gonna make a meme out of this one. If you ain't Polk, you ain't people.
That's right.
What a great line. Fear and exhaustion. How about this one? This might have been the high point of Polk lines, though. And there were two great ones. How about this one? Mama says fear and exhaustion gives the jerky a delicious tang.
Tang, yeah. No kidding. Like
all of it was gross till tang. And then when you hear tang, it's like, oh, what a great word for that. And gross.
That's very Texas Chainsaw Massacre like. So it was awesome.
So
well, what about Audrey at the end where they're running around and she's talking like, "Oh, I gave the best performance I've ever given with him." Like
in the middle of all this, and her narcissism comes up.
Well, then she's like, "Shelby wouldn't have done that. I was her. I acted for her for 6 months. I know her better than I know myself." It's like,
yeah,
how full of yourself can you be, Miss Saturn Award winner?
Yeah,
holy God.
She is. She's a complete narcissist. And how about when we find Rory and he's like bleeding on her? That was great. She looks up and he's like just a bowel above her.
Right.
I thought we were done seeing Evan Peters. We got one more shot.
We do. We got a good one. Evan Peters shot. So
yes.
And we found out there was a Polks that strung him up, which
yes. Yeah. Well, the Polks have some kind of weird deal with these Roanokes.
Well, they have an agreement, so that's what they do.
Yeah.
And they and it comes in, they're like big drug dealers. That's awesome. Oh, crop's good. We make a lot of money.
Yeah, they've got all that weed everywhere in there, and they eat people. We never go hungry.
Yeah. You have more money, you can eat all the Cheetos you want and biscuits and gravy. What the hell? Who cares what you're eating? Jeez.
Let's see. Shelby slits her own throat. That was a shocker.
Yeah.
Because the way it happened, I mean, I had to go back and rewatch it because I was like, wait, did she just it was done so quickly and it was clearly slice.
Right.
That's when things got very real in that house again. Dominic, who saw the head bash and everything, he stopped. His narcissism cooled out at this point. You know, because he even had it when he was down there with Lee, like, "Sydney, what are you doing to me? Get me out of here." And then he even was telling her, it's like, "I took this thinking we get a sequel and we get a whatever." And when that happens, he's not joking around anymore. He's kind of over.
Right.
Which was cool, the way they handled it. And like I said, I didn't remember Piggy taking him out until you said it, because I was just so shocked by everything else. But
that was it was very quick. It's like, "Oh, you're out of the room. See you later. Thanks. Bye."
Yeah. This was a tough one. So we had that great scene. We should actually say this before we get to the tough one. We had that great scene where they ended up very much of a hostile type scene. They take Lee has escaped. We have Monet and Audrey in the chairs. Monet leaves Audrey when she escapes.
Yes.
Audrey's just sitting there. In walks Mama Polk, rips out one of her teeth with the pliers. and then Lee comes in. I can't believe they didn't just bash that woman's head in. They let her kind of start to get up before they did anything.
Well, it gets back to the real life people doing what, or the actors doing what the real life people did, because
Yes.
Shelby bashed in Matt's head. Well,
And now Audrey bashes in Mama Polk's.
Polk's head.
Yeah. So I thought that was a really great scene, but that whole scene was very tense. Like I didn't breathe through all of that. But then this is the one. This one killed me. Audrey and Lee escape there. They go back through the tunnel. They get back in the house. They got to go past Matt. Lee was crushed.
Oh yeah.
I bought that performance. When that happened, I'm like, the way when she saw it, and then it was like it's very real at this point. It's not just we're running through a haunted house or, oh, I saw so-and-so dead. She saw Matt, who she's been a protector of this whole time. She doesn't know who killed Matt. She's just gone through getting her leg eaten, part of her leg eaten and all this other stuff. I'm telling you, I was like, wow, this was a rough scene. Made me very, very sad, we'll say. Then they go up and they find Shelby, and Dominic tells them that Shelby's the one that killed Matt. And of course, Lee's like, of course, that horrible wench did it. But you've got really at this point 3 of the 4 survivors in this bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, how the hell are they getting out of here? Which we know they're not necessarily. Dominic, Piggy shows up, takes out Dom. We still haven't seen where Monet is.
Right.
She's gone, but she's not gone. There's no way.
She's being chased by, right.
Unless, we saw the Polks chasing her down. But what if it turns out she is the lone survivor? What if she runs through the woods and she ends up getting away?
Right.
And really, there are no survivors on those grounds in that house. By the grace of God, she gets past those Polk boys. Maybe she kills them, and she gets away, and we find out she's the only survivor. But she gets blamed, just like you said, art imitating life or life imitating art.
Yeah.
They blame her for killing everybody the way they blamed Lee for killing Mason.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
The longer I talk, the more I start to make sense. I want to address something Danette wrote here on our chat. And anybody listening, when we're doing this live, we'll try to be good about putting out when we're doing it live. But if you jump on, you follow us on our YouTube channel, we have a chat room open during our show, and we love to address it. Danette wrote, I heard a theory about the end of this season that I totally agree with. It's a show within a show within a show. So.
Within a show.
So this is something that we talked about here. I don't remember when this was revealed, but they've stopped talking about it. Supposedly there was, not supposedly, there was the big game changer that they revealed would happen in episode 6, right?
Mm-hmm. But they said 6 through 9.
Oh, I thought it was 6 and 10.
No, but they said 6 through 9. I thought
6 through 9. Right. Big game changer. So Danette might be right, or this theory might be right. What if episode 10 proves out that it's a show within a show within a show? But I think that the show within a show within a show has gone very south, because I think, well, maybe not. Maybe some of this is a setup, because we saw them planting stuff around the house. We haven't seen the fake disposal go off.
Right.
We know they were setting up these fake traps. What if those start going off? Now, the only one that we do know is what's his name shows up at the very end in the Piggy costume. And it was obvious it was a costume. I was like, that's not Piggy.
Right.
Because you could see the back of the head. Because the real Piggy the real Piggy looks like it's a real pig head.
Well, we know it's not, because we know that it's a guy that was burned alive with a pig on his head for stealing.
Right. So we see him. But I mean, before he took the pig head off, we see Pig at the door, and you're like, "This isn't Piggy."
First off, he rang the doorbell, didn't he?
And it turns out it's Dylan, right?
Yeah.
And we know that the reason he's there dressed in the pig costume is he's an actor set up to scare them as the pig man.
But he's he played the son in the reenactment.
Right. He played the butcher's son, Ambrose, in the reenactment. So we know that there is the show within a show happening there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Will they do it that... Okay, I got a theory. I'm going to throw a theory out.
Uh-oh.
It's not a show within a show within a show. I'm going to say it's not a show within a show within a show. I think they're going to do the exact same thing. Episode 10, they're going to go back to Roanoke, and they're going to throw whoever it is in there. If it's Monet that survived, they're going to make Monet go back into that house. Or the show, My Roanoke Nightmare, will be over, and in that last episode, we will see that character go back, and it no longer is this first-person thing. We'll see the show as a show, not what's getting aired on TV. Okay, so we've seen two TV shows so far. This last one will be the actual episode of American Horror Story, where, let's say it's Monet, or let's say it's Lee. Let's go with Lee. I think Lee makes sense. Lee goes back to finish this off. But it's no longer the found footage.
It's
Lee goes back with the intention of, I'm killing the Polks.
Well, the Polks are two out of three are dead, aren't they?
I'm ending this, though. And it's not about finding anything other than it's the final thing. But she ends up ultimately becoming the butcher. Do you think maybe someone ends up being the butcher?
Well, what about if the theory holds that they're bringing back the Supreme, Sarah Paulson Supreme character, that there's a tie into Coven in this? Okay. Maybe Lee goes or Monet goes to New Orleans and they find the Supreme, and the Supreme comes in and says, I'm going to handle this. I'm going to come in and fix this once and for all. And then she comes in and just,
all hell breaks loose.
Then, literally all hell breaks loose and they just wipe them out. I don't know.
Yeah, my theory, it's actually a hypothesis. It's not sound yet, but I'm not thinking it's a show within a show within a show. I'm thinking that last episode is going to be the first episode of season 6 of American Horror Story. It is going to break that first-person camera thing. It's going to be a contained episode that shows this is how it all resolves. No question who's real, who's not. This is what's happening.
This is real life. Yeah, possibly.
And ultimately, I think the butcher is going to end up standing there in a circle of blood with all of the ghosts that are left. And remember, the ghosts weren't real happy with the butcher. Right. So are they going to try to revolt? Is there going to be something like that? I don't think so. I think they've already done that. I think they've already shown us that type of thing before with Hotel. But I think the butcher is going to be standing tall at the end.
Hotel was ghosts against vampires. It wasn't ghosts against ghosts, and this is ghosts against ghosts.
Ghosts against ghosts. But I think whoever lives through the next episode will be the lone survivor that they talked about, and then the final episode is in the real world. It's an American Horror Story episode, as opposed to this.
It's Roanoke Night
reality show.
Revenge.
They're not going to do that. That's what I say. They're not going to do that. We're going to get the first time we're going to see an actual American Horror Story intro to the episode, because we haven't seen one yet. We'll see what the intro is to this season. It'll be one episode, and very, very likely that lone survivor dies.
Yes.
And maybe the last shot is we find out that Flora is, maybe they flash forward and Flora's older and she's going back, and that history is going to continue to repeat itself. Maybe. Yeah. Or maybe they let the Flora thing we get a shot of her in an asylum or something like that.
Yeah, Flora. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows where that comes in? Because I'm shocked that they haven't brought Flora in one capacity or another. Because her dad's dead.
But why would she be back there?
Because Sydney's an idiot and would bring her back. He's like, oh, it'd be great for live TV because none of them believe that there's anything bad going on. Sure. So why would they think that would happen?
All right.
Did you hear me?
Yeah. Did we hit everything here?
I think so.
I've got some kind of weird high-pitched sound going on here at my house. So I say we end it.
Sounds
and
great.
I will have to deal with whatever's going on. Probably a fire alarm. I'm going to be dead soon. That's okay. I'll come back in a pig head. All right. That's it. Thank you for listening, everybody. We will be back next week. We're all caught up now. We'll be back next week with episode 9.
A week from Monday. Yes.
I can't wait. Follow us on Twitter @DisturbedPod. Boom, you see it right there on the screen if you're watching. Follow us on Facebook. Boom, right there on the screen. Disturbed Podcast. Go to Facebook, look that up. Get in conversation with us. Actually, what we're going to do is on Wednesday of this week, after the show airs, we're going to put up a thread that says, like, spoiler thread, so people can talk about the episode. So please get on there and talk about the episode. If you have questions, if you have comments, share them with us. Chris, why don't you give your social media? And while you do that, I'm going to scan here just to see if by chance anybody wrote in last minute to us.
Absolutely. You can find me at theblueboxcafe.com. That's our website, or at Blue Box Cafe or Blue Box Cafe 176 on social media.
All right. We did not get anything more other than Tyler, who we had mentioned in the last episode, had written, Tyler thought that maybe Shelby was the Supreme because she healed so fast from that gash. And I thought that was a really good one, even though we kind of knew that didn't quite hold up. But I thought there was something entertaining about that. While this episode was airing, actually, so you know, Tyler is at _boy with 2 Y's, who with 2 O's, lived with 2 D's, boy who lived. Tyler wrote, well, there goes that theory. That cranked me up because I saw it before I saw the episode. And when that popped up, I was like, oh, Shelby dies. That was really good. So thanks for that, Tyler.
She's the Burrito Supreme is what she is. So
the Burrito Supreme. Nice. And then also I tweeted out, I just wanted to highlight this. If you go to our Twitter feed, Kirk Manley does artwork for every episode of The Walking Dead. I wish he did them for us, but he does them for Walking Dead. He used to be a co-host on our show Biters, which is a Walking Dead podcast. It's awesome if you don't listen to it. But he does this amazing comic art for each episode, and his art for the first episode with Negan, you all know what that is if you watch that show, is so good. I retweeted it, and he retweeted to us, thanks, man. I'm glad you like the art. It's so cool. So go check it out. It's super cool. Let's see. A couple more quick plugs. The 7th, we are going to be live at the Blue Box again. No, 7th or is it the 12th? The 12th, which is Saturday the 12th.
7th is tomorrow. So 12th.
Yeah, Saturday the 12th, we are live at the Blue Box again. If you're in the Chicagoland area, come out to Elgin and see us at the Blue Box. We're going to be doing Harry Potter night. We're not doing American Horror Story. It's Harry Potter night. So all you muggles, all you single muggles, come on out. It's going to be a good time. And support us, enjoy it there. It's going to be a lot of fun to meet Chris and I live. It's a blast. I can't wait. It's been a while since we've been in there. So not since the marathon.
Yeah, it has.
So I'm going through withdrawal. If I didn't have this podcast with you, Chris, I'd be missing my Chris.
That's right.
And let's see. Oh, you know what? Pay attention. We're going to be branching this off into its own YouTube channel, where I'm going to put all the episodes up. I'm going to put the live episodes, and then extra stuff is going to start going on there. So for now, you get it at Southgate Media Group, but in the future, it will have its own Disturbed Podcast YouTube channel coming soon. And we also are going to set up a Patreon for this. So if you want to support the show, you'll be able to do it that way. But for now, if you want to support us, you can always go to the Southgate Media Group Patreon page. You can do $1 a month. You can do $5 a month. Do a one-time donation of $50 and say, hey, I love each season. Here's $50 to support you. Whatever you do, it helps us. It helps keep this going, and it helps us improve the quality of things, which, as you can tell from this episode, we could use.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that's it. I am done. You got any final words there, Chris?
No, I think we're all good. I'm looking forward to the last 2 episodes of this season, and then get to where we need to be. So
yeah, well, all I got to say is if you ain't Polk, You ain't
You ain't
people.
people. That's right.
We're out. All right, that's it. Jeanette, thank you. Bam. And we will be back. Actually, let's see.
A week from Monday.
Yeah, was there anything I wanted to address? Monday night, we're not going to be live on here doing This Week in Geek, but This Week in Geek comes back this week. Damn.
Yeah, we're doing it at 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah. I'll be calling in for that. And I had all sorts of notes from today that I wanted to talk about, but I lost them all. About everything. About Twig, about Blue Box, about everything.
Did you get a hold of James?
I have not talked to James yet. Here, I'm going to hit stop broadcast. Thanks a lot, Jeanette. Unless,
Bye, Jeanette. Thank you.
Do you want to listen in while we talk? You got 5 seconds to write in. If you do, we'll leave you on. If not, peace out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Later.
5. All right. Bye, Jeanette. Thank you. Thank you for everybody watching. Oh, she said I don't care. All right, Jeanette. Well, you do care. You love us, Jeanette. We love you. Thanks, Jeanette.
Jeanette took the time to say she doesn't care, so she cares.
That's right. That's right. I'm not hurt. I don't take it personally. Thanks, Jeanette. And Chris, I'm going to hit stop broadcast, and then we can chat a little bit.
Sounds good.